I haven't made before, but in your opening statement, you, like everybody else, referred to new member states. Now, how long is a member state new? A pair of shoes after 10 years is not new. A member state after 10 years is new. And by the way, I know this isn't a fair comparison. But I think there is something here that we are still 10 years on. Not we're new. I mean, we're sort of not quite fully there because we're new. We're not fully accepted. And I think that in that sense, the integration has not been a total success. The 2004, 2007 enlargement, the Croats don't know this yet. They only joined on the 1st of July. Secondly, Thomas, when you talked about modernization, I mean, you talked, this is end product of which is reaching a certain modernity. I agree with you that membership was always about far more than economic benefits, cohesion funds, structural funds, and so on. And the mindset problem, I think, is right. Civil society and so on. But I don't think that this can ever be copied. I think it has to emerge out of local domestic roots, local domestic political forces adopting particular styles of argument, debate, and then so on. And there are various very good reasons why in Hungary this all went in a very particular direction, which, you know, the very deep division that we have, which I think I like as little as you do. To some extent, this particular internal cleavage line, to a much lesser extent, but I think is present in pretty much all the former communist countries, and it's part of the legacy of communism. Now, you talked about real parliamentary democracy. Where is it? In which country is parliamentary democracy real? Because they are very varied. I mean, if you must have listened to the Westminster Parliament. I don't know if you ever listened to the Holyrood Parliament, Dutch Parliament, Belgian Parliament. You must have had ample opportunity to go visit the Belgian Parliament. I never have done. You know, I mean, I could follow it in French, not in Dutch.
There are 6 in Belgium.
But there are, quite apart from the fact there's a fair number of parliaments in very democratic country, Belgium. And so, and you know, the Chambre de Députés in Paris. Now, all these have really very different styles. I'm not sure that there is such a thing as a real parliament with real democracy. The checks and balances point, which you didn't mention, but I would mention, I do, I think we can both agree on that. Again, this will vary from place to place. And there is majoritarianism in various countries. On the acquis communautaire, it's not the size of it that matters, it's the fact that it is A, growing, and B, that the control over it on the part of the citizens is close to zero. I accept your point that there is some control by council, some control by parliament. But what is very difficult is that once a particular process has been launched by the Commission, and the Commission has the right of legislative initiative, it's quite difficult to eliminate that entirely. The Commission is the guardian of the treaties, and what it does is supposed to be taking place in the spirit of the treaties. But it's the transfer of power which is taking place even as we speak. I'm sure that in the Berlaymont they are devising yet new areas where to regulate. Now, just one other point here. You talked about evolution as positive, and I can accept this, but I'm not sure that there's enough two-way dialogue here among all the stakeholders, all the interested actors, and you will be aware of this, that and you sort of half hinted at this, 2 countries that I would single out here. The Dutch government announced a few weeks ago that there were 54 areas where there will be no further integration. They even said the Jean Monnet method is over, it's finished, whatever that is in Dutch. I'm not sure. United Kingdom has begun this very, very large-scale investigation, inquiry called the balance of competences, which basically is saying what is properly regulated in Brussels, what is properly regulated in London, or possibly Edinburgh, depends on which way the referendum goes in Scotland, just over a year's time. And I think that this is a Europe-wide difficulty that increasingly states are saying, no, there are competencies which should not be regulated in Brussels. We want to claw things back. And I think this is new. I would say this is part of the crisis to which I referred at the outset of my remarks.